Hello everyone, my name is Justin and we're here on the New York Islanders GM Mode series. And really this should be episode 3, but unfortunately it's probably going to be episode 2. I uploaded a second episode of me simming up to this point. And I don't know if YouTube took it down or something. It shows in my video manager, but when you go on my channel it doesn't show up. I know it had a copyright notice like the first episode did because I forgot to shut the music off. I don't know if having 2 copyright notices in a month or something, if that would make them take it down or something. I have no clue. But I shut the music off. I at least believe so. I'm not listening to it right now, so I'll find out once I'm done recording. But I turned them all the way down. So essentially, hopefully this video doesn't get deleted. But we're at this point here at the trade deadline. I'll do a little bit of a recap on how the team's done so far for you guys. We're just not getting enough goals and we're letting in too many goals. 29, 29, and 3. I think it's evident we're not a playoff team. Look at this. Tampa Bay acquired Verbata and Hamuse. They're going to be a big playoff push team, Tampa Bay. Here are the standings. Chicago not doing too good, even though I made them a good team. Same with San Jose. Here's this. Look at Washington. How is Washington worse than us? Let's be honest. So theoretically speaking, we're only 6 points out of the playoffs. But the way I see it, I don't want to trade something from the future to get better and then still not make the playoffs. I just don't think we have what it takes to win the Stanley Cup. I think we would have all agreed that we are a seller at the trade deadline. We'll talk about who in a minute, but I'll show you guys. Tavares having a good year. Strome is. OKPOSO, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to ship him out. He's going to want a big pay upgrade. He's having a decent year. I don't really like power forwards in the top 6 because sometimes they don't get good numbers. But he's having a decent year. Just as good as last year in real life. But I don't think he's part of a solution. He's not 88 overall. The way I see it is they're not really good enough for a good first line, but they're too good for the second line, so it's kind of that awkward thing. So I think we're going to have to get rid of him if we want to gain for the future. Franz Nielsen will probably get rid of. Lee, Zelinsky, Nelson, Grabowski. And here's everyone else. Look how bad Nikolai Kulemin. 7 points in 57 games. I'm hoping we can toss him in the OKPOSO trade with his ridiculous contract. That's what I'm hoping. We're going to have to hold on to Grabowski's contract. I know a lot of people said to trade him away, but he's putting up third-line numbers, and unfortunately, it's just too unrealistic. No one would ever take $5 million a year for 3 years. Maybe when there's 1 year left, we can dump him in a trade. But so it's looking like we're gonna ship out at least Nielsen, maybe Zelinsky, and OKPOSO. So I'm taking my time with this team. Essentially, even if we don't make the playoffs next year, I don't want to sign someone in free agency that's going to bite us in the butt in 2 years, because they start getting lower or something and overpay. So our wants is draft picks. Hold on. Okay, couldn't figure out what my dog was barking at, but we got all these on. We'll go forwards. We'll see some offers before we try to make something up. Obviously would throw in someone to get rid of a contract or two. 17 to 21. 4-star. Defense as well, 17 to 21. 4-star. And goalie 17/21 4-star. So we're looking for future, not current. Surplus. Pending unrestricted free agents. Forwards. Oh, no, I don't really want to do that. That's about it. Players on a block. Zeliski. OKPOSO. And Franz Nielsen. So we'll see if anyone comes at us with anything. Let's look at. I got my phone here. I can take a picture of the playoff teams. I only want to trade them to playoff teams because that's what makes sense. Well, breaking news: Carolina re-signs Cam Ward. Boom. And boom. And I prefer to send them to the Western Conference for future endeavors because I don't want to, I don't want them to come back to bite me in the butt. Ryan Strom's having a good year. We're going to keep him, obviously. It's trade negotiations. Okay. We want to make sure we have enough phones to do what we want to get done here. Detroit first for Quincy and Helm. Boston for Steve Downey. Chris Neal. If we don't get this one, we're just going to have to make something up because I want to have enough phones. Okay, no one's coming at us. So let's do OKPOSO here. He'd be a huge help to any team in the Western Conference. So let's use him on playoffs. LA, Anaheim, Edmonton. So Anaheim wants him and they have the cap, but I would like to throw in. Is there anyone I could take back with 1 year that has some contract? So I need some roster players. Kevin Biesca. If I bring him back, then what's the point of... Well, he's not nearly as good as Zeliski. He's good defensively, though. I kind of want to lose. Horkoff. We can bring Horkoff back. They have a lot of guys. Chris Stewart, Vatanen. Okay, I'm getting rid of 2 forwards, so I'll bring Horkoff back. And I'd like to throw in. We're giving you a good player, so we're gonna throw in Kuhlman for you guys to eat up because we're nice. Okay, maybe we need to bring in Chris Stewart too. Help with the salary cap. So these are their 2 people replacing them on the roster, significantly worse. So let's see, what are they willing to give us? Draft picks, we could get a first, but they're a playoff team, so it's not going to be too good. Skaters given away. Shea Theodore could be a guy we bring in. 2074. What's our defense prospects looking like? I know it's not great. So Pulak, Wotherspoon, and then these 2 might not even turn into anything. So we could do that. Obviously, we'd have to get rid of like some bad defenseman like this guy. So let's see. These two are a little bit more than Kuhlman, which means we have to get something a little bit less than OKPOSO, which is that. But I still think, now the first isn't looking like it, but I still think we could squeeze it a second for next year. I think that's a pretty solid trade. But I really want to get a first, actually, is the problem. So not yet. Let's see LA. Let's see if LA wants OKPOSO. They do, and they want Kuhlman. That's helpful. We might have to retain his cat. Oh, they don't have a first. Oh my goodness. Edmonton. I know Edmonton's gonna want it. No, Edmonton don't even want OKPOSO. What about wild card teams? We could help a wild card team. Arizona's not quite in the race. They're not quite in a wild card spot, but OKPOSO can help them get there. They don't want to give up anything. St. Louis. Okay, I can work with this. Oh my goodness. Minnesota. Does anyone have first round picks that they're willing to get rid of? Okay, Minnesota does. But I'd rather go for a wild card team like Nashville or Dallas, because hopefully they'll... Okay, we can do this. We can take Nashville's. One year left with some cap. Paul Gostad. Boom. Gostad and Hodgson. And then some. I don't want to give away really any prospects. So I can just remove this guy. Okay, we need to get something else in there at least. Man, I don't want to give away any prospects. So we can probably get the first and the second. That's about not quite OKPOSO's thing though. Can I squeeze in a third? We're gonna try. This seems like a good trade here. Okay, first, second, and third for OKPOSO. I'm making sure I get roster players to replace everyone. So there's one trade done. Now I'm thinking I want to get a prospect for Franz Nielsen. And that could potentially be Shea Theodore. Can we do a swap for swap? Okay, we might have to throw something in here. Zidliski. They want Merrick. Make sure we get a guy back like Holzer. Oh, it still might be kind of close. Okay, boom. That's not what I wanted to hit. No one's trading besides us, man. Okay, is there anyone else on this team that we want to trade? Ryan Strome, I want to keep. Nat Martin, not really worth trading. Kazika's not worth trading. Okay, that's it for us. So, a little bit of an eventful trade deadline for us. I'm hoping Nashville poops the bed with OKPOSO so we get a good draft pick. Good draft picks. So we'll soon to the end of the year. I mean, this might be a longer video, but I swear if we do better because of those trades. I hate this simulation. Sometimes I trade people to go on a losing streak and then the team just freaking keeps winning. And that might happen here. This is unbelievable. I don't think we got 3 wins in a row at all this season. And now we're going to win games. Fantastic. Maybe OKPOSO was our poison. He was what was holding us back. Okay, there we go. We're losing. Ryan Strome, man, having a killer year. Actually, I want to put him with Tavares if he's not already. So we could see what kind of point totals he can get with Tavares. And my dog is snoring. Okay, he's up there. These are some interesting lines, but oh well. Let's lose some games, please. Unbelievable. This whole year I couldn't get above 500. And now we're steadily above it. 2 games above it. Be quiet, dog. Or I'll wake you up because you're snoring. Hamnick. Just lose some games. In regulation, please. I don't believe this. Oh my gosh. If we end up making the playoffs, I'm going to be mad. There we go. Now let's lose the next rest of the year, like just like that. 5-2s. Not win 5-2. Jeez. Look at Tavares. He might get the Maurice Richard trophy. Holy crap. Lose, please lose. Especially. Oh. Okay, we have to go on a big lose streak here. Nick Leddy's gone. That doesn't matter, does it? Lose. Oh, yes. So, okay, lose this one too. Lose. We don't want to take their playoff spot if they're in one. Yes. And lose this one too. Okay, whatever. So we finished the year 41, better win percentage than before we traded OKPOSO. But we finished our first year. Yeah, we just didn't get enough goals and we let in too many. 41, 36, and 5, 87 points. Hopefully not enough for a wild card spot. We're doing pretty good down there in the minors. One, two, three. Okay, good. We 1 point out. Thank goodness. One more win and we would have made it. So what were our problems? What were we worst at? Scoring goals? Probably. 21st. Goals allowed? 19th. Power play sucked. Penalty kill was the only thing we were good at. Okay, my dog's annoying me. I'm waking him up. Be quiet. Okay. Let's look at these forwards here. a good year for Tavares, 46 goals. Look at this. He got 46. The next closest was 18. Strome had 67 points. Hopefully he can grow to be 86, 87. Career year. Man, he tore it up in the AHL. Lee, despite being 83, got 49. Nelson, Hodgson playing 84 games. Grabowski, Bailey, Clutterbuck, Martin, And defense, Letty, Dehan, Boychuk. Minus Hickey did bad. Maybe we should have traded Hickey. Come on, man. Minus, he's whatever. Oh, I didn't even think of. Okay, they've got 3 years left. I don't know if I want Halak on the team next year. He could be like a draft day trade to like maybe Edmonton, who needs a goalie potentially. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but or Calgary, they need a goalie. So let's just take a little look here. Goals, Ovechkin. Okay, Tavares was 5th. 46 for Jeff Skinner. Yeah, right. He's lucky if he gets 46 points. And assists. Kopitz, 81 assists. That's unbelievable. 110 points. Caden Tays, Ovechkin. Wins. Jake Allen probably gonna... Well, maybe Jake Allen's not gonna be the... Probably Rask would be the... I don't... It's hard to say who's gonna be the best because the guys on the top of the list aren't on the top on wins, so that's kind of interesting. Like Rene is nowhere to be found on these lists, but he has the most wins. We'll see who retires, who wins the Stanley Cup, and then that'll be it in this episode. I don't think I want to do the draft. No, I'm not going to do the draft. I want to ask you guys, what should we draft? I'm thinking we draft a goalie first round. That's what I think. Because we don't have a solid option at goalie. Halak can fill the crack for like the next till his contract ends, but we're gonna need someone for the future. Scout. Let's get some goalies. Our AHL squad, we can follow them, I guess, in the playoffs. But what I do want to see is, where did Nashville end up? Oh, the standings aren't here anymore. Did Nashville make the playoffs? Oh, they did. Okay, so that's not going to be a good pick. So we're going to have to pick a goalie with our pick, potentially. Okay, 2-0. Here we go. Shane Prince tearing it up. Okay, we lost. Maybe I should have upped the Adam Quine's potential. I heard he was pretty decent. There we go. 4-1 in the first round. The Bridgeport Sound Tigers bringing home the Calder Cup. If we can't raise the Stanley Cup, we'll raise the Calder Cup. Okay. Paul Belmore, come on. Okay, this is not good. And it looks like that's the end of our season. Okay, we get swept second round in the AHL. Fantastic. That was sarcastic, but you can't little ball. Did Halma or not? Did Karkner really have 43 penalty minutes? That's ridiculous. Let's keep the sim going. Oh my gosh, the Preds made it far. They made it to the conference finals. The two teams we traded with made it to the conference final. I don't know who won. I think it was. Let's see who wins the Stanley Cup. Is the Stanley Cup over already? Because there ain't much news about it. Yeah, must be. Tampa Bay. Okay, so at least Nashville didn't win the cup. I think they might have made it to the cup. So we could try to trade up in the draft if you want to try to get a good goalie here. Playoff tree. So Nashville made it to the cup. So we're getting the 29th overall pick. That kind of sucks. We're getting the 29th. And then we went 18th. So probably the 18th overall pick. Or close to it at least. So that's not good. So we'll be between 15th and 20th. Unless we win the lottery, which I doubt. So we'll probably be around 18th and then the 29th. What do we want to do? Scouting report or scouting central? Okay, so it's looking like for goalies. The good news is there's 3 guys going first round, but they could go early first round. There's 4 in the top 10. So we could trade up to the top 10 and get one of these guys. Preferably Man Dixon because Burke's 21. Or we can trade up to the top 5 and get Tremblay. Or we could chance our luck. Hope one of these guys come to us, because there's also the first/second round guy, but it might not be very good. Or maybe we could trade up to the first round, but not the top 10, and potentially get one of these guys. So after all the top 10 guys go, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So somewhere in this area is where we'll be picking. I anticipate that these guys, I upped both of these guys. I anticipate that they'll go higher than this. Same with Kachuk. I know he's 4.5 star. And our 29th overall pick, we'll probably get one of these guys. So tell me, what should I draft? I want to get a goalie with our first pick. But what do I draft with our 29th? A defenseman, a forward, and get 2 goalies and hope one of them turns out good. It's up to you guys. Anze Kopitar, the Art Ross, Steven Stamkos, the Hart Memorial, James Norris, Drew Doughty, Lady Bang, Stamkos, McDavid, Bishop, Rask, Bishop and Vasilevsky, Nicholas Grossman, Pavel Datsyuk, Steven Stamkos, Alex. Why in the world? This is the stupidest game, I swear. They changed it to Alex in the roster updates or something. Somehow it got changed to Alex. So now it just looks stupid. What a fail. Tampa Bay finally wins their cup. I knew they would with Radim Verbata and Dan Hamhuis, plus their whole roster. So we'll just take a look at the retired folks, and that'll be it. Did anyone from the Islanders retire? I don't think anyone would have. No. Again, line host, I call it a career. The good news, my plan worked. Yager stayed another year. So did Chara. The Cavalier retire, that's kind of realistic. Doan probably isn't going to retire in real life, but Cullen. Oh, Chara did retire. Dang it. Eriksson Liski did retire. No goalies. So that's it for this episode, guys. Leave some comments below, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.